With good news for today from Baptist Press, I'm Brandon Porter. While much of this week's focus at the Southern Baptist Convention has been on caring for those who have experienced sexual abuse by pastors or other church leaders, messengers to the convention's annual meeting approved their first ever resolution dealing with the mistreatment of Native Americans, Alaska Natives, and Native Hawaiians. The resolution dealt with the removal of the people from their native lands and forced assimilation through mandatory boarding schools. A quarter of Christian adults in the U.S. say they're attending church at least weekly, down from a third who say they regularly attended prior to the pandemic, according to a recent Evangelism Explosion study conducted by Lifeway Research. When asked about their church attendance before COVID-19, 34% say they attended 4 or more times in a typical month. 30% attended 1 to 3 times, and 36% attended less than once a month. Now 26% say they attend 4 times a month or more, 31% say 1 to 3 times, and 43% say they attend worship services at their church less than once a month. Since the start of the pandemic, the percentage of Christians who say they attend church monthly has dropped 7 percentage points from 64% to 57%. Numerous studies confirm churches continue struggling to regain in-person attendees who were lost during pandemic closures.
Good News for Today is made possible through our friends at the Voice of the Martyrs, a nonprofit organization that serves persecuted Christians around the world. Founded in 1967 by Richard and Sabina Wurmbrand, VOM is dedicated to inspiring believers to deepen their commitment to Christ and to fulfill His Great Commission, no matter the cost. Find out more and sign up for their free monthly magazine at vom.org/goodnews.
The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees announced that the total number of people forcibly displaced has surpassed 100 million for the first time on record. This number includes those forced to flee conflict, violence, human rights violations, and persecution. It also includes refugees, asylum seekers, and internally displaced people. These 100 million people represent 1% of the global population and would make up the 14th most populous nation in the world. The number of displaced people has risen dramatically in the last decade, from 45.2 million in 2012 to a staggering 100 million today. This massive increase can be attributed to increased conflict in countries such as Ethiopia, Burkina Faso, Myanmar, Nigeria, Afghanistan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. You can find more information on that story at our website, baptistpress.com. Thanks for listening to Good News for Today.